The game is over. Welcome to the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. Bet above the rest. Only at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Milwaukee. After the last pitch, you've made the switch for 21 seasons. We'll hear from the manager, the players, and the highlights from the game. It's time to talk about the game and the team with Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Well, it is a final, and the results are not good as the Brewers fall in Game 2 of this three-game series, 8-2 the final. Welcome in, everybody. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, and free on your Odyssey app, because we'll join our network stations here at the top of the hour. Not a good day for Brewers pitching, not a good day for the Brewers offense. There's Tommy Wortz. Back in the saddle tonight.
Oh, yeah. You know
My
me,
name is
saddling
Tim Allen.
up.
Yeah. Did you enjoy your off night last night?
Yeah, it was good. I was just watching the game, took a little just relax. Wasn't anything too crazy. We were at Summerfest yesterday, did pregame from Summerfest. That was awesome. Got to say hi to a couple of fans. Shout out to Q. Yeah, I mean, and it was a lot more fun game to talk about yesterday, I think, than it was today.
If this doesn't prove what the Brewers need in a month, then I don't know what's going to. That this is pretty obvious what the Brewers need. Been talking about it here for about 5 or 6 or 7 weeks. A relief pitcher of substance, period. That's what they need. I would take that over a position player. A lot of people would disagree. I would take a reliever over a starter. Some would disagree with that. Now, again, this is all depending on, what the name of these guys are, obviously. But if everything's relatively the same sort of star reliever, same sort of star third baseman, I'm going reliever. It's one piece away. It's one piece away from lining things up a little bit better than you have been. And Chad Patrick, boy, wow, 6th inning. All with 2 outs.
Yeah.
Walks will kill you.
He's kind of stunk. We got a text coming in here. It says Chad Patrick has stunk for a month now. And I'm going back looking here. Over his last 15 games, we're looking at a 4.82 ERA for Chad Patrick right now. Over his last 7 games, it's an 11.81 ERA. He's given up 14 earned over the last 10 2/3 for Chad Patrick, and you're seeing it. And he was one of the few that, if you go a month before that Vegas series, he was one of the few that you probably had at the top of the list to trust for this Brewers bullpen. Right. And now, ever since that series, he just hasn't come back down to earth in any way. And it's a big problem, and it really accelerates the need of a bullpen arm if Chad Patrick is not figuring it out on the bump.
And you would assume used a little bit differently, he will. You did see Jared Koenig in there through a scoreless rack.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I think he was averaging 95, hit 97 today too. Not bad from Koenig. That's massive for this Brewers bullpen to get him back.
Not only just with him, and I don't want. We talked about this the other day. Just don't call Jared Koenig. Well, that's just like your trade deadline acquisition.
Right.
No. You want to add to that. And they just might. All right, earlier in this game, Jackson Churio hit that first pitch. You thought something was cooking here for the Brewers over the Cubs. David Peterson's acquired via the Mets. And his first pitch as a Cub, Jackson Churio hits for a homer. I mean, I was loving that part of it.
Yeah, it sounded good, too.
6 record, big earned run average. And Churio greets him with a drive into center field. It is up and hits the wall. And it bounces up and out. It's a home run for Churio. Peterson's first pitch as a Cub. And Jackson Churio touches them all.
Kind of wish there were people on base for that.
Yeah, wish. Yeah, BA and Rock back together here today and tomorrow on Brewers TV right there on the call. But, yeah, you thought, okay, this is going to go by way of the Brewers. And Kyle Harrison was outstanding. First inning, second inning, third inning, got an out in the fourth inning. And the Brewers took that 1-zip lead into that top of the fourth, but then the wheels came off a little bit. Walks will get you, just saying. And he gives up a 2-run home run to Suzuki. I question some pitch selection against Suzuki. He has done quite well against the Brewers. I would change that game plan. Whatever you're doing, let's take a look at another avenue to get Suzuki out. You can't have him controlling the game like this. There's enough damage that can be done in that Cubs lineup than having Suzuki do it against you.
Well, and Tim, I don't know if anyone's remembering this. Why are they wearing the Wisco jerseys on a Saturday?
On a Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, they were 4-0 in their last 4 with the Wisco jerseys, and then they decided, we'll just wear them on a Saturday. And they have yet to win a game on a Saturday now with them.
Yeah, I would say this, that typically it's up to that day's starter to pick the uniform.
I believe that's the case, yes.
And so that would have been Harrison's call, I think. All right, so he gives up the 2-run home run. It's 2-1. Then he pitches a scoreless 5th inning. So not horrible for Kyle Harrison in this one. 5 innings, a couple of runs on 3 hits and a walk, 92 pitches. 29 of them in that 4th inning, where, all 3 hits and the walk came in that inning. So you got a game. I felt absolutely fine at that point, but not to be, as Chad Patrick entered the game in that 6th inning, all with 2 outs, walk, set the table. And it was an RBI base hit. And then, by the way, if I know this, then I think Chad Patrick, William Contreras, Chris Hook, Jim Henderson, and Pat Murphy should know this too. Against the Cubs, against the Brewers, Ian Happ loves the first pitch. He loves the first pitch. You don't know this? You guys don't know this in a clutch situation. Go back and look at it. I choose not to, because I don't want to be more bummed out. But go back and look at first pitch of the sequence damage by Ian Happ against the Brewers. You need to waste one in big spots to Ian Happ. You do. If I knew this, why didn't they? Just saying. Chad Patrick, did you think you were going to get one by him? You're going to feed him first pitch fastball? Is that what's or that cutter? He might have been guessing. I don't even know what pitch. What pitch was it?
Look, I don't know what Chad Patrick I'm worried about. I'm already in this worried camp, but I really need you to speed this up, because I'm worried about Garrett Mitchell right now too. And I think that being an injury situation again, after one at bat of his career high in games, he's gonna pull a hammy on a swing. Right after that,
his 70th game constituted his 70th game played in a season, and that is now his high, and he's going to deal with a hamstring.
I'm livid. I'm livid.
Ooh.
It's pinch hitting Andrew Vaughn with 2 outs in the 9th inning too. Why?
Let Vaughn hit.
Just let him hit. Who cares? The game is over. It was a 6-run deficit with 2 outs in the 9th.
Yeah.
That's just, there are some people who are telling Pat Murphy that he is in a slump, and he just refuses to get out of it. He just refuses.
I wonder who that was. Hey, look, a manager can slump. It's fine. We can slump in life.
Yes.
I mean, I know a bunch of people I hang out with down at the corner bar that their whole life is a slump.
Well, go ahead.
Even successful people,
their whole life
can go through. Even successful people can go through some decision making that just doesn't go your way. It's fine.
The 262 also bringing up Terang in his last 15 games, 172 right now. Terang looks off right now too, big time, and it seems like there's a hole in his swing at the top of the zone.
Yeah. Yes. And he's whereas Mitchell's coming out of it, getting up on that fastball high. I think that might be a liability for Bryce Terang. He's going the other way on this. I will also say, when we'll get your phone calls in here, Nicolay Law Talking text line 414-677-1250. Cub fans tune in. I know a lot of Brewer fans will tune into the Cub post game when the Brewers win, because then they can hear the Cub fans cry. And I know a lot of Cub fans will tune over to me and us and to hear me whine and cry. That's okay. But I'll tell you, Cub fans, this doesn't make your team better than the Brewers. Clearly. Fact. The Brewers are a better baseball team than that Cub team. Not only this year, but I'll expand it. They're a better organization than the Chicago Cubs are. Okay? So just so you know, you won 1 game out of 5. Okay, let's see what happens tomorrow. But I will say this, in credit to the Cubs. You look at the way their offense played tonight, they wanted it more. They fought. In fact, in this series, now it didn't work out for them yesterday, but I'll give them credit. They made Mizorowski and Harrison work their asses off. They did. And you could tell that these guys weren't just trying to launch homers. They were trying to work pitch counts up. They were fouling off good pitches. They were extended at-bats. How many 8 or 9 pitch plus at-bats have the Cub hitters had in this series alone? That tells you something. And I heard on the Brewers radio network that they were saying, well, the Cubs hitters are doing what the Brewers normally do. I don't know about that. They just seem like they wanted it more. However, the good news, Woody's the kind of competitor that will shut that off. So we'll see. We'll talk more about tomorrow's game coming up later on in the show. Plenty of time for you to talk Brewers and Cubs here as the final 8-2, the Brewers fall. Series now tied at a game apiece. That's what makes yesterday's game huge, is you got a little wiggle room here in games 2 or 3. And in this case, no wiggle room left to take the series. Series tied at a game apiece. Tommy Wortz, Tim Allen, Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. Bet above the rest. Only at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Milwaukee. After the last pitch, you've made the switch for 21 seasons. We'll hear from the manager, the players, and the highlights from the game. It's time to talk about the game and the team with Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Yeah, it is a final, and the results are not good at American Family Field. A Brewers loss to that team, 8-2 the final. Welcome in, everybody. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen, Tommy Wortz, and Kyle Harrison pretty much did his job. I mean, it wasn't – they worked pitch counts up on him, and they got him out of there through 5. However, Brewers offense – didn't get David Peterson out of there through 5 2/3, and he just shut him down. It really couldn't get much going. But Chad Patrick, that 6th inning, ouch. Grant Anderson gave up a run. Kuno gave up a run. So, again, want to get your reaction on this. Series tied at a game apiece doesn't make the Cubs a better team because they win a game. But it does set up a pretty competitive matchup between a Cubs offense that's been actually doing a decent job against both Mizorowski and Harrison. You look at Miz yesterday, 6 innings, was just a 1 run,
right?
And Harrison 5 innings, 2 runs. I mean, they did their job too, but getting to that bullpen a little bit earlier, we're seeing a little leakage in that bullpen.
Absolutely. Yeah. And to your point, we may be getting a little spoiled on the starting pitching front with how amazing they've been as of late during this stretch, especially since the offense has been sputtering over the last 2 weeks or so. The Brewers starting pitching has been ridiculous. I mean, sub-2 ERA as a unit. They've had, I believe, 7 quality starts in that time frame over the last 2 weeks. And the bullpen, to your point, Tim, if this needs to happen to expose it as the biggest team need, then so be it to this point as well. Are we, I don't know if we're in the trust tree or not here on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. I might be all done with Joel Kuno. He's pitching as much as Aaron Ashby pitches. It feels like I can't do it anymore.
You can't run Ashby, McGill, and Uribe out there every single night.
I know, but Joel Kuno is inevitable now. I'm seeing him in my nightmares, it feels like.
That's right. Grant Anderson's been on a little slide as of late. And you see Chad Patrick. That's just his last couple of weeks have not been good. And so maybe that you're seeing the usage taking its toll here on this bullpen. I will just say this. I think they need a bullpen arm more than anything else on this team. Now, the offense needs to be a little more consistent. There's no question about that. They put up 2 runs, a Jackson Churio home run and Sal Frelick RBI. Blake Perkins with a double. Just saying, off a lefty, he's been doing well against left-handed pitching. Joey Ortiz had a base hit. Joey. 2 runs on the board is just not good enough against that pitcher. I mean, David Peterson, what's his ERA? 6?
It was 6. It's now under 6. 5.86.
Yeah. So between Colin Ray and David Peterson, this offense needs to get more consistent. They do. And Murph said it yesterday, pre-game show. Said not clicking on all cylinders here.
If I told you before the game today that Gary Sanchez, Blake Perkins, Sal Frelick, Joey Ortiz would all have a hit and Jackson Churio would homer, you would have thought that they won this baseball game by 9 runs.
Yes. That's a funny thing about baseball, man.
So weird.
It is strange. But the Cubs, you guys watch this series so far against both Mizorowski and Harrison and others. I think the Cubs offense wants it more right now. You can tell the fight in that offense right now. I don't say it because I like it. I'm saying it because we're seeing it. They want it more right now. And quite frankly, they're more desperate than the Brewers are. Let's face it.
Oh, yeah. The Cubs are. They just traded for David Peterson.
Exactly.
Yes.
They're in desperation mode. And not a better matchup than Woody tomorrow. with these guys. Just shut that down a little bit. But it is about the Brewers offense here. It's got to get a little bit better. And the full need in my where I sit, I mean, the full need hasn't changed because of tonight, or hasn't changed because it's been Kunal and Yoho, although that was our morning show down in Terre Haute when we had the morning show down there.
Yahoo and Kunal.
Yoho and Kunal in the morning. Good morning. 105.5. But I've been saying it for a month and a half now. The need is a reliever, and a good one. And you're going to have to give up something to get that reliever, but you got to have it. That's part of this Brewers game. That's part of the Brewers game here in the last few years. It is making sure you get that starter mid-game and unleash that bullpen, which has been extremely powerful the last handful of years. Can't change from that. Matt Arnold, you got to go out there and get a high-leverage reliever and a good one, and you will have to pay for that. But you have to have it because that's philosophically how the Brewers win. That's how they win baseball games. Under Pat Murphy. He knows exactly what he's doing back end of the bullpen. Now, are they all going to work out at times? At times, no. They won't. But for the most part, give him 4 hammers back there, and you got to win when your pitcher goes 6+.
Well, they at least now I don't even know if it's necessarily that they need to, like, because of all the injuries and there's just so much uncertainty now with the bullpen too. Like, after McGill, who do you love the most?
Both Abner and Ashby. They've been the most successful.
Yeah, I mean, Abner, I think, kind of has passed Ashby up as of late. Ashby just keeps getting very unlucky, it feels like, every time he goes out there. But I still tense when both of them go out. I'm not feeling confident either way now at this point. It's Trevor McGill, and after that, everyone else in the bullpen just needs to be better. Just needs to be better for this team.
And another hammer arm back there will make everybody better because they now fill different roles. And we'll see. I don't think there's a doubt. Well, I know there's no doubt in my mind they will get a reliever, Tommy. I haven't felt this confident in an acquisition in years. He will get a reliever because that's the way they play. You have to have it to do a deep run, to win a pennant, to get into the World Series or win a World Series. You better have a great bullpen or you ain't going to do it. It's just that simple. And they'll do it. They'll do it. So it's just a matter of when. I think he's already tried, would be my guess. He's already tried to do it. And who's ever got those arms is saying, I want a bidding war start. They'll probably leak the name themselves to get the bidding war going. All right. I want to get your reaction. We do here on a Brewer loss to that team, especially those of you that were at the park inside the stadium tonight. It did seem like there were abundantly more Cub fans in there tonight than last night.
Yeah, it did.
Not just the score of the game. That didn't dictate it for me. It just seemed like there were a lot more. So it's the Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250.
Yeah, let's head out to Maryland. We're going with Lee to lead things off today. What's up, Lee?
Hey, I'll tell you what. When I'm wrong, I admit I'm wrong. I called you guys a while back, schedule watching, and when I saw this series on the schedule, I called in and I told you guys that the Brewers would sweep the Cubs, and I was wrong. So I got a little egg on my face, but I feel good about tomorrow. Take 2 out of 3. Let's just, kind of sweep the floor, go ahead, win tomorrow, and you got a series victory. So, I'm looking forward to seeing Woodruff tomorrow, and let's take this series. Another thing I do want to say is the walks. You guys covered this already, and this is why you guys have a show and I don't. The walks just kill you.
They will get you.
And I don't. And I guess it's probably because when a pitcher's not in the zone, have you ever seen the situation where a good pitcher, even a mediocre pitcher, they'll give up a single. They'll give up 2 singles. There might not even be 2 outs. They get out of the inning. Mm-hmm. The walks always score. It seems like 80% of the time the walks will score, and the singles and sometimes even a double just won't. So not being able to, find the zone, locate those pitches, just killed them tonight. So, they're basically just going to say that, hey, we didn't pitch well tonight. We got to do.
You can't win games with putting up a couple of runs. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's David Peterson and the Cubs. They're hemorrhaging on that mound right now. You put up 2 runs. Good God, come on, guys.
Terang, I heard you guys say this too. Terang worries me. Have you guys heard anything on Lockridge?
He had a setback last time we were on.
Month,
yeah,
probably.
He's going to be end of July now, it sounds like, instead of where they were predicting him end of this month. I believe even too. I do have a little bit of brief news that is somewhat good news.
Yeah, my phone's been just buzzing off the hook here.
Garrett Mitchell with a hamstring cramp. I mean, what?
Yeah.
There's no other team cramps more than the Brewers.
I've never heard of a hamstring cramp until this year.
I will be the hydration coach for the Milwaukee Brewers
doubt.
if they need someone there.
Look, I took electrolytes and drank about 5 bottles of water solely because I had to play my guitar for 3 hours earlier today.
I'm the schedule guy, and I've been looking down the schedule a little bit, and I know the Brewers got to play Miami yet. And they beat the Cardinals again tonight. I'll tell you what, I've been watching a lot of Marlins baseball lately.
They're a pesky little team.
I'll tell you what, they are sneaky good.
Yep.
And, the Brewers got a lot of things to worry about before then and everything like that. But keep your eye on them because they've moved ahead of the Nationals now.
Right, real quickly, where's the biggest need for you? Reliever, position player, or starter?
Yeah, I think you guys said that with the reliever. I'll tell you what, getting another starter wouldn't hurt. Hey, do you think they're going to start Mizorowski on Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday. Looks like.
They're going
Thursday.
6-man. They're going 6-man.
Okay, good. Then they'll skip him with Arizona. Then I might get to see him in St. Louis.
That's a matchup on Thursday, by the way. That's going to be Burns and Mizorowski.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Then I'm also going to see them in Pittsburgh the weekend of the 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Sweet.
He'll probably pitch one of those games too. Is what I'm thinking.
Well, enjoy it, Lee. Thanks for the call, man.
Okay, you guys. I'll listen to the rest of the show. Take care.
Thanks, Lee.
Yeah, you got it. 414-677-1250 on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line.
Let's go out to McGuanago. We got Jake on the line. What's going on, Jake?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Just want to say I was on last night and was on hold, and I'm glad I didn't get through because I'm going to do a 180 on my comments from last night.
Okay.
Last night I was going to call and say how proud of our fan base I was for the control of our stadium that we maintained. And it was a complete 180 in the ballpark today. And so I just have to appeal to my fellow Brewer fans and say, 3-time division champion, fighting for the best record in baseball. We got to keep control of our stadium.
Jake, let me ask you this: Were you at both games? Were you at last night and tonight's game?
I was. Yeah, I'm a season seat holder, and I actually had an opportunity to catch the Brewers when they were down at Wrigley, and I was proud of us down there. We were loud down in Wrigley, but man, today it felt close to a 50-50 ballpark. And of course, the score might have swayed that by a few percentage points. But boy, I was so proud of us last night. And I don't know how we become a top-tier baseball team if our fan base can't get behind a team that has such success on the field. So
yeah, it's
always some accountability as fans.
Okay, gotcha, Jake. Thanks for the call. Thanks for the update. It did sound like there were more Cub fans in there tonight.
It was loud. It was loud today.
I mean, just more, period.
There was
more
also,
than last night.
There
it
was
just appeared.
also more to cheer about, to be fair.
There was, and that's why it's good insight to have somebody that was there.
And a question for you, I guess, Tim, just if you're a baseball fan, would you want to go to the game where Jacob Mizorowski is pitching if you're a visitor, or the next game? Like, would you? I'm seriously wondering, like, would there have been more Cubs fans there? Maybe there's more Brewers fans simply because Miz is pitching, right? That could make sense too.
That I would say would be more prevalent.
But just wondering, like, if you're a visitor, are you going to the game where you're more likely to win, or the game where you are more likely to see a superstar?
Yeah, good point.
So
And
I don't
also,
know. I don't know.
I mean, we have to consider this too, and I don't. By virtue of you purchase the tickets, so we always talk about money. Man, it's hard to not sell them to Cub fans because my season tickets are X amount, and then I can make back in one series, I can make back X percentage. So whatever that percentage is, I don't know. Okay. I know Packers season ticket holders. I know them personally, and they will sell a few weeks to make up for all of what they just about all of what they dole out for the season tickets.
Well, that's the whole gold package argument, right? That's the Milwaukee package that they have down here, and what people say with those. I don't want that feeling with Cubs Brewers. I don't want a gold package feel.
My point is, how tight can money be if you purchase season tickets anyway?
Right.
How tight can your money be then to allow you to get a little greedy? I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. I won't go there, but I mean, to make a couple $100.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's 1,000 for the weekend. That might be your profit. I can't see it being much more than that. Can you?
There's no way they're how many times the Cubs come to town then? 2, 3?
Well, just to say, just this series, if we isolate this series,
Well,
so you got three games, you can't be profiting all that much money.
No.
You can't be in such dire straits economically that you are easily swayed to. But I don't know. I don't know what those dollars would add up to be. I'd have to talk to someone that is a season ticket holder and then looked online and say, ooh, man, I can make X amount. I don't know where that threshold is. But yeah, I'm with you, Jake. It's sort of disheartening when you got the "Let's Go Cubs" chant, and it is in abundance, if you will. There's a ton of fans in there. But all right, we'll take more of your calls, get more of your reaction as well. Brewers fall in game 2. The series is tied at a game apiece, so the sky's not falling. Offense needs to get a little more consistent. The bullpen is springing a leak here and there, that's for sure. And the starting pitching, been rock solid. No problems. There's Tommy Wortz, Tim Allen. It is the Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. All right, welcome back. It is the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen, and there's Tommy Wortz.
Hi.
Oh, there.
Oh, yeah, here you go.
I
I
was
got you.
waiting for it.
Don't make me steal Josh's thing. I can't steal his thing.
No, you can't.
That's his shtick.
Yeah, that is. All right, so the Brewers fall 8-2, series tied at a game apiece. Chad Patrick needs to figure it out. And this is why, possibly, why Pat Murphy was concerned about Patrick and not throwing a breaker. Or a good one. So maybe Murph is onto something a little bit. And he walked a couple of men, and he paid for it. And my goodness, do not feed anything near the zone to Ian Happ in a clutch moment during a Brewer-Cubs series. You just don't do it. He's punished you on first pitches. Good gosh. Come on, guys. I knew that. But the Brewers, again, their offense, no Bowers, no Mitchell, no Yelich, because David Peterson was on the mound. Oh, okay. And look what happens. You put up a couple of runs. We can, again, Grant Anderson may not have entered this game. Joel Kuhnel would not have entered this game had the Brewers offense put up a couple of more runs and made a competitive mid to late game. Now you go with your heavier hitters out of that bullpen. This offense driving me crazy. They're a good offense, potentially really good. I don't know what the problem is, though. Well, I do know. I guess it's inconsistency.
Yeah, it is. And again, there was a comment here on the Nikolai Law Talking text line that says, do the Brewers get lazier and more complacent on offense in games in which Miz and Harrison pitch in?
I don't think so, and here's why. It's almost the same philosophy as the tanking rule or the tanking situation in the NBA. It's just, I don't think that individuals would allow themselves to do it that way.
Well, you're feeling maybe a little more lax. Does that do it? There's another thing about Murph here from Ron and Rome talking about hunger and how Pat Murphy says good baseball teams sometimes fall out of hunger. And are they getting to that point of a complacency a little bit at times?
It's tough to stay hungry when you're full.
Right. I mean, this team just won 50 games in their first 79 games. It's the best in franchise history.
Again, this guy is not falling.
But you can see the inconsistencies on a consistent basis.
You see him, and the offense just drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. It's just, I mean, Tommy and I make fun of it, but it's so true. At times, this offense, even when they score runs, it's painful. Oh, it's just so painful at times.
Today there weren't painful runs today.
No,
I mean,
they were decent.
Lead off homer and slap single from Frelick. We'll take that.
Ambush.
We will take
single.
that.
Yep.
It's the bunt them over, wild pitch, sack fly runs that are just painful. They're just painful. I know you got to take what they give you, but it's still painful.
4-1. Second and third with nobody out, and they scrape across one run.
Right, exactly. 414-677-1250, the Nikolai Law Talk and text line. We're going to go to, we got Rich in Racine here. Rich, you're up next.
Hey, guys. Great show tonight. Tim, I agree with you 999.9% on what you said tonight. One question I'd like to have answered is, who made the decision that Patrick was no longer going to be a starter?
That was Murph, I would imagine.
Or Arnold.
I guess collectively, I wonder who that would be too. But they'll answer you by saying this was a collective decision.
Remember I talked to you about a month ago about psyche?
Yeah.
And about how you can't do this to professional athletes unless you know what their mind is thinking. I don't think he's in the right spot. I think because he was brought in to be a reliever. He just doesn't like it.
He may not like it, and you know what? I wouldn't blame him if he didn't. Most of these relievers, a lot of these relievers, shouldn't say most, a lot of these relievers, you ask them, I've asked them over the years, they all, a good chunk of them want to be starters.
He's had 28 walks this year. 28 walks, and I like to see the stats on how many have scored.
With this outing tonight, I'm ballparking last four. The last four appearances for him, he's had 6
4
walks.
appearances, exactly.
Well, so in the last, if you can go back to the last 6, I got the last 6 appearances here: 9 2/3, 15 hits, 14 runs, all of them earned, 6 walks, 5 home runs.
6 walks in 9, and how many appearances?
9 2/3 in 6 appearances. It is 14 earned runs.
Less than 10 innings, and he's had 6 walks. Oof.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No.
And I'd like to add one more thing. I'm sure a lot of people were listening to the broadcast tonight or telecast tonight. Is Bill Schroeder now a Cubs announcer? Because he was sure. It was ridiculous. It didn't. The first 4 innings, it sounded like the Cubs were world champions.
I do think they're a good team. I don't think they're a great team, and clearly the Brewers are a better team.
But you were right when you said the Cubs wanted this game a lot more than the Brewers did.
You could see it in the batter's box. That's enough said right there. They were fighters tonight. They were.
And when you see Churio lead the game off with a home run, everybody's sitting in that dugout saying, well, here this is going to be ours. This is going to be all ours. And how many times have we gone out with a guy against a guy who's got a 5-point-something, 6-point-something ERA, and he just puts it to us?
And you let him off the hook.
Too often.
How many times is that going to happen this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, but remember when Blake Perkins hit a homer off Christopher Sanchez, though, Rich? That was awesome. We were riding high then.
Yeah, well, one time, And I got a theory. How about if they put Harrison in front of Miz?
Why do you want to do that, Rich?
Well, I think Harrison is a great moving pitcher with a breaking ball, and I think they see him, and the next game they see 105 miles an hour. I think it's going to work a lot better. It'd be an interesting experiment.
Yeah, maybe interesting. Last 4 games, Miz and Harrison, each 2 starts. Brewers are 1-3.
Or exactly. So maybe it's time to change it up.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see it. That's a hell of a good problem to have, a 1-2 punch like that for sure. Maybe in the postseason, I don't know.
We'll see. You can in game 1. Yeah, you got to go in game 1.
Yeah, you do.
Well, if they're going to go to a 6-man rotation, why not try it?
Sure.
All right, Rich. Thank you.
Thanks, Rich.
Always a pleasure.
There he is, Rich, over in Racine, the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Big Dog Chase, he was at the game today. What's up, Big Dog?
Oh, that one hurts, baby.
Ouch.
First off, I just want to shout out Usher Larry. He listens to the show, and he put 2 and 2 together from me going down by where the umpires go in, and he came up and asked us if that was me who called in.
No way. Let's go, Big Dog
We're
Chase.
creating a superstar.
That's awesome, Larry. Shout out to Larry.
Larry, way to go.
Did you give him his autograph? Did you give him an autograph, Big Dog?
No.
Oh, all right.
Not
well,
yet.
That'll be
Well,
next.
You got a long season coming up here, half a year left, and you'll be signing autographs by the end of it. Look, this show created and made Front Row Amy what she is. So why not Big Dog?
Yeah. You could be the next one, Big Dog.
This, Chad Patrick, I think he'd be better as a starter. I don't know why we're experimenting with him in the bullpen. This team has the capability to win 100 games, and we're just messing around with stuff.
That's what I thought at first too, Chase. But then he started rocking in that bullpen, and he got on a run. We all loved it for a while. Remember, Tommy, I acquiesced, and I said, hey, look, it got me on that one because I fought it too. Right from the start, I'm like, what did Chad Patrick do to lose his starting rotation spot?
Well, and what do they do with this bullpen if Chad Patrick's not in it at this point, too?
He's needed.
Well, I think come All-Star break or post-season, with how deep this rotation is, we still got Logan Henderson coming back, and a bunch of others.
That's right.
Sprout is good for 2 or 3 innings. Then he just has one bad inning. What would Sprout do in the bullpen if he can pitch like just 3 good innings and then get lit up? Sprout would only pitch like 1-2 innings in the bullpen.
I wouldn't rule it out. Tommy, Chase, I wouldn't not rule out that Sprout ends up a reliever in that
especially
role.
Come down the stretch too.
Yep.
Yeah. Last thing, I got a few words to say to Cubs fans. I'm not trying to start anything, but if Cubs fans say, "Oh, we won, we're the best team in baseball," just check the standings, please, people. Big dog out.
Yeah. I mean, check the standings.
Yes.
Doesn't that get you a little bit more fired up about today, at least? Big Dog Chase got recognized.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That is like any Brewers. We should go wall to wall on that. I'm going to make a promo. On that.
I thought I was proud when the Amazon driver, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday morning. And I was late. And I was zipping out of the garage, out of the mud room, and the Amazon guy is like, "Whoa, hey, what's up, man?" He's like, "No, I thought that was cool. No. Chase just outdid me."
Yeah, you got big dogged. You got big dogged.
I mean, Larry didn't recognize us.
Yeah. He was like, "Are you Big Dog Chase from that show with those 2 idiots who talk Brewers baseball?"
Yes. That was actually what he said.
That's probably verbatim what he was going with. Let's get one more in here. 414-677-1250. Marshall is over in Whitefish Bay. What's going on, Marshall?
Well, guys, as usual, your callers are terrific and your analysis is good. And I'm of the opinion that coming into this series, I just had a hunch it was, I would have loved to have won the series tonight, like we all would have. But I had a feeling it was going to come down to Sunday. It's just maybe we were due a tough game tonight and the Cubs would come up with something good tonight. But I agree. There were some mistakes made tonight. There was no doubt. And the Ian Happ thing, you're right on. I was going back and forth between this and the World Cup tonight, guys.
I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, wow. Okay, I will ask you guys this. Someone said I had a band event earlier this afternoon, and we were just during the break talking about the Brewer situation and all that. Does Craig Counsell look like he's having fun right now?
No, he
every time they pan to him, everyone was telling me every time they pan to him that it looks like he smells something bad in the air.
He's not wearing a hat like in the dugout. His hair, he just looks disheveled. He is absolutely on edge.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we're still in great shape, guys. And it's just for me right now. It's other sports that are also grabbing me. The big W begins tomorrow and all that. But I still will be with the Brewers as much as possible here. It's going to be hot coming this week with the Reds coming to town. That's going to have to get through some heat and everything. But hey, we've been very spoiled this summer, and I'll just leave you guys with a quick joke right now.
Here we go. Buckle in.
We have to lighten it up here a little bit. I think we're going to win tomorrow. You're right about Woody's competitiveness. He wants to slam the door on these guys, and I think he will tomorrow. But the joke is, and it's just a fun joke from church and Bible and everything. Some of you know I'm into that big time. What do you call a group of Catholics being bussed around the state of Massachusetts?
I don't know.
Religious?
Well, good try, Tim. Mass transit, and as Willie Wilson might say, that joke is on the road again.
Oh man, Marshall.
I love how he
Thank you,
always
sir.
hangs up. He mic drops
Yes.
too. I thought the big joke. What are they calling the big? Is the World Cup the big W, or is that what we're calling it now?
I don't know.
I mean,
I know it's clogging up all the articles I read, and I'm certainly not into it.
No, you're not
admit it.
you're not a Ghana guy.
I'm not going to even try to talk FIFA World Cup.
Oh, just wait till we have to do a breaking wall-to-wall post game after they win the whole thing.
And USA?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just
Didn't they lose the other night? I thought.
Well,
they
yeah,
did.
but that was group play.
Oh, group play.
Yeah, they're in
Okay.
the tournament. They're playing Bosnia,
Gotcha.
Tim. You know all about the Bosnian team.
No.
Yeah.
I thought they were playing Turkey.
Well, they did play Turkey.
Oh.
Well, and Turkey changed the name of their country. Did you see that?
Uzbekistan?
No, that's a different country.
Oh, that's a different one? Okay. I just had to say it.
Oh, my gosh.
I've been wanting to say that for a while on the radio.
Uzbekistan. No, you haven't.
I haven't. I have. I wanted to.
Okay.
All right. We'll take a break. Come back and continue our conversation. Think about this during the break here. Woody's out, highly competitive, and he goes 5 innings. Okay? 1 run, 5 innings tomorrow. Who handles the bullpen then? You got 6, 7, 8, and 9. You're going to have some one extra guy in there. You would assume the 3 guys, Ashby, Uribe, and McGill. Where's the other one? Is it Koenig going back to back? Could be. Think about that. We'll talk more after the break. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Yeah, not a good day at American Family Field as the Brewers fall in Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series. Tim Allen, Tommy Wortz, Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show live here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. 8-2 the final. Get in another call or two. Coming up in the next hour, we do have plenty of time to discuss. But very quickly, I posed the question, what if Woody goes 5? Okay, and we're playing the what-if game. That's what we do on the radio quite often. Well, what if we'll play some hypotheticals? What if Woody goes 3 2/3 and you have a 3-3 ball game in the 4th inning? After what you've seen tonight with Chad Patrick, I would assume Patrick's not going to pitch tomorrow, right? You have your big three, Uribe, Ashby, and McGill. Now, remember, if you're a 6-man rotation, that only leaves 7 in the bullpen. So those big three, along with Patrick, is 4, and you have Joel Kuhnel,
Grant Anderson,
and Koenig.
And Jared Koenig. Yeah, the big three, Patrick, Kuhnel, Anderson, Koenig. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's it.
You're going to fill 6 1/3 tomorrow? 5 1/3 tomorrow? Okay. See what a tangled web we weave when we go to 6-man. Right in the middle of 18 and 17. 18 games, 17 days. Beer Count Kenny. Saturday night. I understand you were at the game tonight. Were Cub fans behaving themselves around you?
Yeah, actually sitting behind the bench there, behind the Cubs bench, it was actually completely docile, to be quite honest. They cheered and whatever, but they were not anything like 10 years ago or whatever when they were goofier and goofy. Very nice. Most were very hospitable, to be quite honest. So, and the Brewer fans on your first call did outweigh the Cub fans. The problem is they didn't have much to cheer about until, we only got the lead early on. So when you don't have much to cheer about, yeah, it does sound like the opposing team who comes up and buys the tickets to sit in those seats. Yeah, sure. It does sound like that. I want 3 quick topics. Tickets. Tim, your analogy on tickets is completely wrong. There's no way you compare selling baseball tickets to the Packer tickets. Those are 8 or 9 home games, and the Brewers have 81. So, if you're going to sell your tickets,
they don't
as
have
a Brewers
81
fan,
against the Cubs. They only have about 6 against the Cubs.
Whoa. Here's my
home.
point. There's only so many premium games at home, right? So you can sell those tickets early on, but not usually during that week where you're going to get a big number for them. It's very difficult because you'd have to stand outside or put them on the secondary market. So no, it's not like Packer tickets where you can get huge money for them. So that, and the only time you're going to get big money for for baseball.
No, I think you misunderstood. What the point was is you recoup a chunk of what you paid. That's the thing. How much?
But you're not gonna recoup a lot selling baseball tickets. That's just the reality.
I don't know that. I told you that. Yeah. I don't know the answer to that. But all I know is if a person has the money to buy season tickets, meaning good seats, you're not in a position where making a few $100, you can't make more than, I don't know, in a Cubs series, if you sold all your 3rd row seats, how much of that season ticket cost are you possibly going to make up?
Well, there's several factors that you haven't even brought into the mitigation factor, and that is what's going on at that time of the year. You got Summerfest, you got people going on vacation, you got people leaving town. There's so many different things, and how good is your team at that point in time? So there's a lot of factors in baseball versus football. Football is a short window. Now, let's move on to pitching. And I'm going to talk about offense, but pitching, Brewers have a lot of work to do. And I've been saying this. Yes, we're 50 and 30. We're 20 over 500. We're the division leaders, but we're not playing like division leaders. And there's a reason why. We need more pitching. We need really, really good pitching if you are going to play with what everybody likes to talk about, the Dodgers in
Starters or
October.
relievers?
Yeah, we need a combination right now. You know why? Because we do not have a solidified starting role. We've been moved. Guys have been moved around all over. We only have 2 legitimate starters right now: Harrison and Mizorowski. That's it. Everybody else is just kind of.
Sproat's pretty good, but
Okay,
that's me.
Okay, whoa. Sproat has not been pretty good until his last outing.
Pretty good.
And,
he's been pretty good his last 3 or 4 outings. Are you kidding?
Okay, so once again, no, that's a foul. That's farce. That's a farce. That's not true at all. But what we do need is we need. Hold on. What we need is we need more bullpen. Now, let me go off of that and say this. You know why the offense is inconsistent? If you were a player and you were a guy who needed to be in there, you don't play. You got 3-4 guys coming out of that every night, and somebody else goes into the rotation. That stinks as an offensive guy. When you're getting kicked out of your spot because somebody else is coming in, Murph's doing a terrible job at that right now. And why, I have no idea. It makes no sense at all. But you're 30, switching out too many guys.
50 and 30, you can make the argument he's making the right moves.
Yeah, for sure.
You could. All right, Kenny, we got to turn you loose. Good conversation. Good stuff. All right. We're going to hear from Pat Murphy. A lot of people, it's okay to disagree with the manager's decision. It is okay. We'll expand more on that after the break. Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show live here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. All right, welcome back. Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen, Tommy Wortz, and a Brewers loss to those guys. Series now on the line for tomorrow. Can't wait for that. Woody on the mound. More on that in a bit. A couple of things here. Our last caller, Beer Count Kenny. I get where he's coming from. If he's talking about a starting pitcher acquisition, and he's thinking about posturing for the playoffs and a deep postseason run, I get that one. That I get. But collectively, this rotation has been really good this year.
Really good.
I mean, really good. One of the best.
One of the best. I mean, just overall pitching in general. I mean, let me double check after today, but I mean, from the team stats ERA standpoint,
they're top 3 or 4 or 5. I mean, at worst.
In Major League Baseball right now, they have the second best ERA as a pitching staff, only behind the Yankees.
However,
best in the National League.
And perhaps he was talking about, that in line stud status, 1, 2, 3 punch. That I get.
Well,
I totally get it.
Starter ERA is the best in Major League Baseball of 3.21.
And I think what sways that conversation is that nobody has emerged as that super stud number 3 guy.
Oh God! I mean, what more do you want? Like,
I get it. I'm just saying that's what throws the perception off.
Why don't we have 3 Jacob Mizorowskis on
3
this
schemes?
Like,
yes.
I don't know what more you want from him. I feel like Kyle Harrison. We were clamoring for someone other than Freddie Peralta to give us 5 innings and 1 earned run last year, and now every single guy can do it on the team.
Yeah,
every single starter.
They all do that.
Yes.
Rarely does it happen where a game gets away in the 4th, 5th, 6th inning. That's rare. These guys are almost every single today's game. 6th inning, it was a tie ball game. The starters have been doing their job, but that perception that no one's emerged as a quote 3 guy. I get that. I get that part of it.
Well, what if it's Sprout?
It might be Sprout.
3.48 ERA over his last 4.
I mean, his last 3 or 4 starts have been pretty good. The stuff looks good. But we'll see. I think there's a bigger problem in that bullpen. And I don't think it's the sky's falling problem. But I think they're an arm short out there in that bullpen, made even shorter with a 6-man rotation.
I think they are an arm away from the sky is falling in the bullpen. A negative arm away.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. Going the other way. Yes.
Right. Then the sky would be could you imagine if something happened to one of those guys of the 3?
The back
oh my
3?
gosh. Oh
yeah.
no. Yeah. Not acceptable.
Also, I do want to say hello to Matt. I talked about the Amazon delivery driver the other day and just kind of caught me. We just kind of surprised each other, and he just sort of stopped there and said, "No way." That's what he said. And I went, "Hey, what's your name?" His name is Matt. So, Matt, thank you. And as he hands me 2 bras that my girlfriend ordered, so he's got some insight on my life right now.
Nice. Nice. So
yes,
yeah,
right.
A couple of reasons.
Matt, thank you for listening. I said I'd mention his name. So, let's go back to the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line 414-677-1250. Big Ron, what do you say? Things didn't turn out tonight the way you wanted them to.
No, and Tommy was just saying who's got 3 aces. Well, it's the Dodgers, and we're on a collision course with them, so we need to go out and get Scooble. We need to go blow to blow with them. And I've said that before on this show. But the other thing that's funny is Marshall called up, said he was flipping back and forth. Well, he probably turned Brewer game off when the Cubs got up big and was watching the World Cup. And Tommy mentioned that, asked you if you were a Ghana fan. And I'm actually in Philadelphia for my son's lacrosse tournament. And there's a bunch of, and Ghana played Croatia tonight at 5:00 Eastern.
Oh yeah, throw the record books out when it's Ghana, Croatia. Yeah.
And So I was at the hotel bar drinking with a bunch of people from Ghana, and it was awesome, man.
You're an honorary Ghana now?
Yes, Ghanaian. I don't know. I'm not
I
sure
was
what
gonna
they
say honorary and Ghana, and then it didn't sound right when I was gonna rhyme
Gonorrhea sounds too much like gonorrhea, I think. Yeah.
Ghanese? I don't know what it is. I don't know.
And Tim's giving shout outs to people on the air. I got to give a shout out to the West Dallas Nathan Hale class of 1991, 35th reunions going on tonight at Club Paragon in West Dallas. So you guys, when your show's over, you should go over to Club Paragon and pick up some MILFs, man. I think
35, 45, 55. So you guys are sort of mid 50s. That's where we're sitting here.
Yeah, I'm 53. Yeah, we're all 53. Yeah, so yeah, I know Tim, you be robbing the cradle a little bit, and Tommy would be chasing some cougars. But it is what it is.
It's it's double. It's double.
Yeah. Listen,
I'm just saying,
Chad Patrick. The reason why they put him in the bullpen is in late April. I'm looking at his game log. In late April and early May, he had 2 out of 3 pretty bad starts, and his ERA, it was 3.45, which is not terrible. I mean, it's not ace, but it's not terrible. But I mean, let's face it, our starting rotation is an embarrassment of riches. It's not Dodgers level, to my point earlier, but it's, so they put him in the bullpen, and he had a really good, solid month in the bullpen from the first week of May to the first week of June. He had 11 appearances, and he lowered his ERA from 3.45 to 2.22. But and that was on June 8th when it was 2.22. So I disagree with these people that say he shouldn't be in the bullpen. He had 11 straight great appearances in the bullpen, and he's just blown up recently, and it's going to happen. And I don't appreciate any Chad Patrick hate, because we would have never beaten the Cubs in the playoffs last year if it weren't for Chad Patrick. And I'll never forget that. Yes. So,
and I think you go back to that April when they made that transition for Patrick. That was about the time where Murphy alluded to he's got to have a big league breaking ball. And maybe that's coming back to bite him right now, where the league is adjusting to him out of that pen. I don't know.
And we always trade for a reliever at the trade deadline, and that's not going to stop. We're going to get some mid-level guaranteed.
Yes.
We will get a reliever at the deadline for some single A.
We will get some reliever better than Shelby Miller. It'll be Shelby Miller or
Daniel
something.
Norris or Andrew Chafin.
Yes.
Right. It's going to be someone better than that. Yes.
Absolutely. And so that'll happen 100%. I agree with you guys there. We probably won't get Scooble, but man, would I love to get him.
I think the Cubs are going to make a move for him.
Really?
Yep. I was listening to the score earlier today. Bruce Levine, our buddy, Bruce, Tommy.
Yeah, big Bruce.
He was on, I don't know if the Saturday show is Hit and Run or I don't know what it is. But anyway, they were talking about, he had said they were in a debate about the Cubs, and the one dude was saying that, they got to make a move in a big splashy type situation. And Bruce was just sort of catting back and saying, hey, it's a talented roster right now. They just need to get healthy. They're probably, I don't know if you guys agree, the Cubs are probably a better team than their record indicates right now. Now, some people would say you are what your record is. I think there's some wiggle room with that statement.
They do have a pretty depleted starting rotation.
They just do.
Yes.
And
a lot of those guys are out for a long time too.
I mean, you're talking about Cabrera just got hurt. Horton's out for the year. Steele's not pitching.
Ben Brown just went down.
Ben Brown, Matthew Boyd. I mean, that's literally 5 guys. That's their rotation. It's completely
Justin
turned
Steele,
over.
Yep. So
But I agree with your comment earlier to all the Cubs fans that are listening, to try to, drink out of the chalice of our tears. We are a better franchise than the Cubs. We've owned them since 2017. We've owned their ass, and we're just on almost half the payroll. And everyone that leaves the Brewers goes into the tank. I mean, Freddie Peralta is the latest victim of that. So we are the best run, dollar for dollar, pound for pound franchise in Major League Baseball, hands down. It's not even close.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could compare the Rays a little bit, but I mean, the Rays aren't winning back-to-back-to-back division titles either. So you might be right on that.
Go to a couple World Series at least.
They did. They did.
Yeah,
Did they go to 2 World Series?
They went 07 against or 08 with the Phillies, I know, and then I think weren't they at the 2021? Didn't Arozarena go crazy during that one?
Yeah.
So I think they've been to at least 2 in that time, but the 2021 kind of doesn't count.
You're right. I shouldn't have said it's not close. The Rays are definitely close, but it's between the two of us. And, the Cubs are, but it's not even close with the Cubs. The Cubs are poorly run, and they are. They just don't ever. Jed is not a good general manager.
I've said it for years on this show. With the market size that Chicago is, and I know there's another team down there, so I get that.
Yep.
But the market size dictates that organization, if run just moderately decent, should have a turnaround, every 5 to 7 years, easy. That should be a high-end, elite World Series sort of team. They just don't.
Yep.
They just aren't, and they haven't. And I don't understand why. I mean, that's maybe it's they're more concerned about being a good business and a good brand than would be a successful team on the field. But that size market and that sort of revenue, how do you not compete every 5 years at the highest of levels? I just don't get it. And that tells me it's inept.
Yeah, Tim, and it's not only the size of the market. I mean, you're right about that. I mean, Milwaukee's metro area is about 1.5 million. Chicago's metro area is about 10 million. And you're right, the Sox take some of that, but the majority of them are Cubs fans. But the Cubs, because of WGN in the 1980s, being that, the Cubs and the Braves built up national fan bases because of cable TV. They were the only 2 teams that were on national TV every single game. And there's so many, and there's nothing worse than a Wisconsin Cubs fan. And there are so many Wisconsin Cubs fans because of WGN in the 1980s. They have a Green Bay Packer national fan base.
Ooh,
so
they do
their market.
I actually also, so I was having some issues with the cable box in the studio here, and I went to go to my Brewers TV and just watch it on the computer, and Marquee got this game and I couldn't watch it on my Brewers TV. Is that something someone else came in with today? I was in the wrong broadcasting market because I'm in Hales Corners for Brewers TV, and it was exclusively on Marquee.
Oh my goodness.
Which big problem if that's the problem. I haven't had to use my Brewers TV all that much because of where I watch the game naturally, but it's all right, let me see if this works. And I couldn't get it today. Is anyone else watching on Brewers TV versus not on there? I don't know. Go ahead. Text in 414-677-1250 because that was frustrating. What am I paying $100 for if I can't watch them play the Cubs all year?
And you had to take the Marquee?
No, Marquee owned the feed. I couldn't watch it, Tim. I could not watch it at all.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. Maybe in that, like I said, I'm in Hales Corners, so maybe the geo-lock or whatever, in some way the market was different. Maybe Milwaukee, it's cool, but you would think it wouldn't be that big of a difference.
Watching the Cubs on TV, and I don't know as of late, but for years and years and years, it's excruciating watching the games on TV. Here's why. They don't talk. Thank God for Brewers broadcasters, Brewers TV. You guys talk. You guys talk about the game. There'll be a pitch and it'll be a foul back and no one says a word for the next 17 seconds. There's nothing on the TV at all. Guys, speak. You got a microphone on your headset there. I find things to dislike about the Chicago Cubs. Have you noticed?
No, you?
I will find anything to dislike them more. And Tommy made a point. Big Ron, you can relate to this. You're getting to know me over the years.
Sure.
I would prefer that the Brewers just never play the Cubs again ever. It'd just be my
Really?
life would be a lot more settled.
He's so scared of it.
No,
man.
I just don't like it.
No, it's because you live in Kenosha, so that you're like, it's a 50-50 shot on if they're a Cub fan or a Brewer fan over there.
It is.
And you would just rather enjoy talking about baseball with 50% of the people or more than 50% of the people you meet. Like, that's what it is.
I lose minutes, hours, days, or weeks, or possibly.
I was talking
years
about
off
this
my
today
life.
with a fan over. We were watching the first couple of innings just down the road. The Craig Counsell situation has absolutely just elevated this rivalry, and he said basically before 2020 or Counsell, most people would have said Cardinals fans were at the top of their list, and the Cardinals in general are at the top of their list.
We've done that poll here on this show
Yes.
many times. Yes.
And now
that surprises me.
And now, and you've always been Cubs more than Cardinals.
Yep.
Interesting. Anything else, Big Ron?
Yeah, my one last point is the reason I hate the Cubs fans more than the Cardinals fans is because they do come and fill our stadium in the regular season, but we stood up in the playoffs last year. We shut them out. It was very
so good.
Top heavy Brewer fans. There was not a good Cub ratio for those playoff games.
You're right.
And so, so at least when it counted, we finally stood up, and protected our house.
And
So
that's
my
where the
last
money
thing.
would have been way up there to
yeah.
let those
Yeah.
tickets go. Right.
Yeah, and people, chose their values and their morals over their pocketbook, and that's what you got to do. I don't blame some of these people that's the only reason, the only way they can afford a half-season ticket package is they sell all their Cubs and maybe all their Dodgers tickets or whatever, the big marquee matchups. So I get it, but at least in the playoffs, we protected our house, and I hope we do that in the future as well. All right, you guys have a great night.
Thanks,
All
Big
right,
Ron.
man. Great conversation. It's good stuff.
He's our new co-host.
I noticed that. Well, why not?
Yeah, I mean,
just hanging out.
We're just
talking
hanging out.
Brewers baseball, talking about hating the Cubs. Oh, there's so much to talk about.
Did you ever play lacrosse growing up?
No,
I don't think I've ever played an organized game of lacrosse.
I would learn it though if my son played it.
Yeah,
Wouldn't we?
But baseball and lacrosse are like kind of rivals, I think.
They're the hated rivals.
It's the Cubs Brewers of sports. Yeah.
Lacrosse versus baseball.
That's a real thing. Ask Ty about it. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I get highlight, cricket, and lacrosse. I'll just
Highlight?
scrumple.
What did you just say?
Isn't there a sport highlight?
You're making up sports right now.
I don't think so. Maybe it doesn't exist anymore.
Are you thinking of beer darts? Is that what you're thinking of? What is highlight?
No, I've played. Well, look it up. Highlight.
Okay, I will.
Maybe we'll check it out. We're going to check out Pat Murphy and what he had to say after this 8-2 loss. Also, we'll hear from Brewers lefty Kyle Harrison. Stick around. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios.
The game is over, and it's time to hear from the skipper on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show with Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
What do we got? David Peterson.
What did you think?
Huh?
What'd you think of what he
Did a great job. He's a pitcher, man. He's been around a long time. He's a pitcher. 6 great innings, 6+, right? He was great. Yeah, not surprised.
What happened with Mitchell there at the end?
Cramp. Looks like he's going to be fine.
What did you think of Kyle tonight?
Thought he was great. I really did. Thought he was great. They did a great job of running up the pitch count. The amount of foul balls is got to be close to a record. It was amazing how they, continued to hit foul balls and run the pitch count up. I thought he threw great. I mean, Suzuki hit a pitch a little bit too much on the plate. But credit to him. He's swinging the bat great. Yeah. Then we didn't get it done in the middle innings, obviously. It's been, Chad Patrick's been very inconsistent. We're going to take a hard look at that. And, he's been a overachiever, and I believe in him in the biggest way, and I feel for him right now that he can't get on track. But I'm certain he'll be back, and I'm certain he'll be back in top form is what I mean. And I'm certain of that.
Murph, when you say take a look at that, there are options that entail sending him down to get some confidence, backing off, trying to find spots, which is hard to do in 18 games in 17 days. There's not many things you can do if a guy in that job.
He's been so good. He's been so good for us, guys. Remember that. He's been so good for us, so clutch for us, that when you have hiccups, just like McGill early on, you have hiccups. If you believe in the player and you believe in the stuff I saw tonight, he gets 2 quick outs, he's got 2 strikes, and he loses his head a little bit. I don't think it's a matter of stuff, and I think he'll be back on it.
Are there any commonalities that you're seeing when he's having some of those lower moments in these outings?
Yeah, walks. He walks people, and then he feels like he's got to throw it in the middle of the plate, or he's very cautious of not walking anybody else. But the walks hurt us tonight. I mean, how many scored? 3 or 4 for sure.
Outside of your top 3, Ashby, Abner, McGill, who've obviously been able to do the job, where do you stand just in terms of the confidence, the trust you have in that second level?
Yeah.
Because they're going to need him coming up.
A game like this will challenge your thinking sometimes there. But Koenig had a promising outing. Kuhnel's been a tough kid that has taken the ball every time we ask. So, I think we've got some options there. And then we'll have once we get out of this crazy stretch, we'll have another, option there in the bullpen if we don't have to run out so many starters, if you know what I mean.
You talked about wanting to see that extra tick from Koenig now that he's back in the big leagues. Did you feel like
I thought it. Yeah, he was smooth, and his delivery was great. The cutter, the change, the heater, all I thought looked fantastic. So I'm looking forward to getting him out there again.
Okay, Tim. I'm sorry. I love the Milwaukee beat. They're great. Can we get one freaking question about the offense over the last week? I mean, they just continue to pound the pitching the entire time.
Always pitching.
And
they scored 2 runs tonight.
They had 5 hits. No,
5 hits,
after the
runs.
first batter of the game, they had 4. Like, what? Why? Why is there nothing being talked about with lineup construction, splits using, what's going on? Why do you play some guys against lefties? Why? Hey, what was going through your mind to get Mitchell just an at-bat for no reason in which he got a cramp on there in that night? They just do not want to ask about offense ever.
Well, it's coming then because they all listen. They can say they don't, but they do.
Come on. I mean, there's got to be something that is story worthy with poor performance over the last couple of weeks of the Brewers offense.
This offense is as inconsistent as I've ever seen them in the past handful of years.
And I get they're winning games because their pitching has been phenomenal throughout that stretch. But we're not willing to ask a little bit about, hey, are you concerned about, are you in a whole team funk right now? Is there something that you think that teams are doing differently to approach you guys as opposed to this right now? I mean, there's never anything coming from the offense.
A couple of other things I picked up in there from Murph as we started out the show. The Cubs offense did a nice job against Brewers pitching tonight.
Yeah, following it off.
They did. They were spoiling good pitches, and they were running pitch counts up, etc. And we were all over that. Now, on the Chad Patrick thing, when he said, I believe this, that Chad Patrick will be at the top of his game again. Most times when Murphy says something like that, he's on it. When he goes out on a limb and says something like that proclamation, he's pretty accurate most times. I think he will too. I'm a Chad Patrick fan. I just think he's been dynamite, all told, in a Brewers uniform.
Well, I don't know if
they acquired him for Arroyo. Was that his name?
Abraham Toro.
Toro.
Yeah, you were all over
Close.
it. You were combining both names.
Close.
I don't know if you've been paying attention at all, but old friend Caleb Durbin kind of on a heater again.
He is starting to heat up. Yes.
Over the last 30 games, 316 average, 5 homers. He's got a 582 slugging. There's no way there was a 98 game stretch or 98 at bat stretch for Caleb Durbin. He had a 582 slugging for the Brewers last year. I just
don't think so.
No way. 5 homers. He has 17 runs driven in over his last 30 games right now, and a 337 on base clip with a 316 average.
That's a big time run. Yeah.
It gets better if you break it down in the last 15 games. His last 15 games, a 717 slugging. He has 5 homers, 358, 386 on base.
Well, they sent him to Boston, and the main return, Kyle Harrison, and he pitched tonight. Did well. I again, if this is a bad outing for a Brewers starter, I'll take it all day long on a subpar night. 5 innings, 2-run ball. Just 3 hits given up. But Kyle Harrison, after the Brewers loss.
Kyle Murph was just postulating about maybe a record for foul balls tonight. How did you feel just about the way they battled?
Yeah, definitely was upset I couldn't really go out for the 6. So, yeah, they grinded some tough at bats and was executing some pitches and just kept fouling it off. So, yeah, on to the next one. But, yeah, I wish I could have gotten the 6 there.
Was the 6 something you fought for, or do you feel kind of done after 5?
Definitely, I fought for it a little. But we're thinking big scheme of things. Me coming up on my workload. Just trying to manage all that stuff, especially with the stretch we got down the road. And but no, felt great today.
When the foul balls are happening and they're battling in the box, how do you mentally battle? Keep going pitch by pitch and battle yourself.
I think it's just that. It's keep going. It's don't never give in. And, that's the one thing I've learned throughout my time. It's like, just keep going, trust your stuff, keep making pitches, and hopefully, we'll get an out here and there within the next couple pitches. But, yeah, they did a great job battling today.
The fastball was fine tonight. I think it was a pretty decent number of hits.
Yeah, stuff honestly felt pretty good. I think it was just, for me, the fastball was a little late in my delivery, so was missing a little bit more outside than I'd like, especially in the one at bat, the homer I was trying to go in. So it's like, it was a great heater, great sinking. The changeups I thought made some strides forward, but yeah, just that one pitch, man, got to get it in there.
Kyle, there's some guys in your pen right now trying to fight through some stuff. When you're a pitcher and you're in a spot where you're searching for that confidence, consistency, what do you think about when you're in that spot trying to fight through?
It just goes back to the everyday work, I think. You just got to trust your stuff and find your routine. And I know it's cliche to say, but it's like flush it. We go through so many things, day in, day out, and no. But at the end of the day, man, those guys are great down there, and we're just gonna keep pumping them up with confidence, and they work their butts off. So I got nothing but respect for them, and it's been a decent. I would say a lot of times they'd helped us out a lot. So no, it's just how baseball is. You got ebbs and flows, and just keep going. That's it, man. That's all you can do.
Who gave the crew some breathing room? What play was it? It's time for the insurance run of the game. Brought to you by G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. On the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show with Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
The more you see Kyle Harrison pitch, the more you hear him speak, the more you like him.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trade Caleb Durbin for Kyle Harrison again.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
No way. Harrison is a good one, and you can tell that he's going to have some extreme good success in a Brewers uniform. There's no question about that. He's a cerebral guy and a competitor as well. G2 Insurance run of the game. I mean, you got a homer. I mean, you want to go with that? Or do you want to get brutal and just give it to Ian Happ?
Stop. No, my insurance runs are the couple of texts. Tommy, I could not watch on Brewers TV and paid my subscription as well. JJ in Kenosha. Mark and Eagle, you need to use a VPN to watch the game on Brewers TV today. No, I don't. I paid for it. Why am I not getting the home market of the Milwaukee Brewers when I am in
Hales Corners.
In Hales Corners. So those are my insurance runs. A couple of others saying I watched on Brewers TV, didn't have any issues, or watching on Spectrum. That's the Spectrum. Shout out to all you guys who have cable right now. This conversation probably just doesn't pertain to you, unfortunately. But yeah, my Brewers TV connection just wouldn't work today. And it's never been a problem before. And I had it in big letters. It was like the marquee logo, because that's what the Cubs are on, right? And it's like they have the rights to the broadcast in your area today.
I don't understand.
All right.
What am I missing?
You tell me. So I've had at least 2 people confirm that was a problem for them as well, too. That's the insurance I needed today. Running a business like a championship run, one bad hit can take you out of the game. G2 Insurance Services specializes in keeping your business and reputation protected. They offer tailored solutions for restaurants, professional liability, and workers' comp. They represent top carriers like Erie to find the best combination of coverage and price. Get the defensive line your business deserves. G2 Insurance Services in Brookfield. Online at g2ins.com. Your friend in insurance.
I'm going to trust Pat Murphy and Matt Arnold on this.
Okay.
But in the midst of 18 games in 17 days and a 6-man rotation, what am I missing here? You got to remember, you can only have 13 pitchers on your roster.
Right.
So if 6 are in the starting rotation, you only have 7 relievers, and one of them's name is Joel Kuhnel.
The other one's Grant Anderson. Yeah.
Am I missing something here? That doesn't make me feel good, guys. I just can't. I don't think so. I don't see it. Yeah. How can you? How is that even possible? You're going to play 18 games in 17 days with 6 relief pitchers? You are asking for trouble, but I'm going to trust them. Yeah, we're going to find out. We'll take a break and come back. Well, why don't we hit a rewind when the Brewers did beat the Cubs? I'm not sure what year we'll go back to. Oh, that playoff series was pretty good.
We could just talk about yesterday again.
We could. We'll do that next here on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. You realize after tomorrow's game, it's the mathematical 81 halfway mark of the regular season. That's crazy.
If the Brewers won 100 games, would you take that?
I think I would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I would. In order to get there, they're going to have to continue to do what they're doing. Against some odds, just keep winning. Not splashy names in that rotation outside of Miz and Harrison at this point. I guess Woody. And this is a big start for Woody tomorrow. But they have to just keep winning games, and that's the mark of a really, really good team, if not great team, when you're not clicking on all cylinders and you're putting up 50 out of 80 games in the win column. It's been amazing. Does it seem like they're that good?
The Brewers?
I guess it does. But the problem is they could and probably will be better. Think about that.
Do you think in post-game shows in LA, they're sitting there saying, well, we don't even have to worry about this. We're just going to win the whole thing every year? Or do you think they are in the same boat as the Brewers fans where they're like, no, they're going to need this because they need to be better at this point?
I would think so. I think the hardcore baseball people would be into that. I'm sure there's some casual fans in that fan base in LA for the Dodgers that were just like, I think it was in when Giannis was 19, 20, 21, those years.
Sure.
I think a lot of Bucks fans were just waiting for the playoffs. I do. I mean, they were that good. But I think in this case, there's some things that it's a beauty of baseball.
But
though.
Brewers fans aren't waiting for the playoffs. They
No.
always use the terminology when the playoffs are here.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It is a good thing. But I just think there's so much room for improvement. It's a little bit scary. It's frightening to think what would happen if.
Do you
the
think you
offense
can
was more
say
consistent.
there's so much room for improvement on a team on pace to win 100 games halfway through the year?
I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but I catch every pitch.
Yeah.
We watch every pitch. Think about a more consistent offense. Think about Chad Patrick being deadly in that bullpen, or McGill didn't go through a couple of blown saves there, or they didn't get injured with three of their best hitters, if not the three best hitters, out for a month, or not having a bona fide number 2 or 3 in the rotation to start the season, not having those injuries that started the season, all the way down to having Lockridge over Perkins. I mean, I still think there's room for improvement, which is, I know it sounds silly, but they're not perfect. And Murphy will admit it and has admitted it. I've heard him twice in the last 10 days say we're not clicking on all cylinders.
I know. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel ungrateful for 50 wins.
No, we should be profoundly grateful.
But now I echo the same things of, I do see where they need to improve this Brewers team. I do believe I have an opinion on the bullpen is not what I believe is a lights out playoff caliber bullpen to this point. I think that their starting rotation is the one area I can trust right now. I know they have an ace. They might have two aces in Kyle Harrison being lumped in with Miz.
It's safe to say it's a heavy lean toward two aces. Yeah.
Okay. And you need at least one in the postseason. You need a hoss, right? And then having another one and maybe one more doesn't hurt by any means. The Brewers got to round 2 with really just one guy. I mean, Priester was not very helpful in the postseason last year. And Freddie Peralta was the only guy who could pitch 4 innings, it felt like, at any point in that game. So I feel better about the starting rotation this year. The offense, it just comes down to homers. As long as the Brewers hit homers, it feels like they do all right. Although today they led the game off with one and it didn't work. I don't know. I totally get how it feels like There's so much to improve. And then you look around and it's like, are we just every single, if our post-game show is speaking about that, is every other post-game show in America other than the Dodgers speaking like this?
I would say, yeah, there's a lot of picking apart of, some liabilities, some weaknesses, and that's okay. I mean, they know a lot of times what we talk about, they're fully aware of it. A breaking ball for Chad Patrick. We've got to get a little bit better. Kyle Harrison working on a changeup. I think he should continue to work on that changeup. Offense to be more consistent, getting more production out of the bottom of the order. Joey Ortiz base hit once in a while doesn't hurt. David Hamilton found himself on base on a walk. There's those things right there. Trying to squeeze in Bowers and Vaughn into the same lineup. Have you turned now back to Bowers and Vaughn platooning a little bit more than maybe a week or two ago, where it was Bowers every day, no matter what? Now, I think twice here in the last handful of games, Bowers has sat against the lefty. Now, he did cool off a little bit, and granted, maybe that's what this is about. Murphy was waiting for. But those things, yeah, they'll I think they're valid. I think they're all valid. A leadoff hitter. Are we flip-flopping now? Yelich coming down a little bit. Now it's going to go back to the platoon, Chourio and Yelich, because it was just Yelly, right? Leading off. It didn't matter. So a lot to work on, and they'll tell you there's a lot of work, and this is all part of the journey. But Tommy, you and I both agree. We should be grateful. They're 50-30. For good gosh. They're 50-30. Would you take that?
I would take that.
Yeah, I think we would.
Don't forget, August 10th, 2006, the Brewers beat the Cubs 8-6. Nothing else too exciting. Doug Davis went 7.
We'll take that.
We'll take that.
Any win over the Cubs.
If Brandon Woodruff goes 7 tomorrow against the Cubs, would you take that?
Oh, my goodness, please do.
That would be massive for the program.
1:10 first pitch, series on the line tomorrow. Tommy, you've got the leadoff show at noon.
Yeah, high noon. I'll be here getting you ready before Game 3 right here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
And then after the game, Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Halfway mark after tomorrow's game. 81 games in the books here in the 26th championship season. After tomorrow's game, we'll double up the numbers too. I like doing that every game, 81 post-game show. See what they're prorating to. All right, for Tommy Wortz, my name is Tim Allen. You guys have a great rest of your Saturday night. We'll see you tomorrow after the game. And remember, as always, smile Wisconsin. Bob Uecker is smiling back.
Smile.